It is Seahawks week. It is Seahawks week. And guess what? It's a special Seahawks week. The 49ers have a chance to clinch the NFC West on Thursday. I'm so dang excited. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and say, waiting all day for Thursday night. New Sprint Right Option podcast starts now.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option Podcast.
It is a new episode of the Sprint Right Option podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini, joined as always by the wonderful Jason Aponte. The Niners play the Seahawks tomorrow, and Carlos Correa is a better free agent than Aaron Judge. Jason, how you doing today?
Can't believe I don't know what's more wrong, what you said about me or that. But hey, I love that. I love that for you, and I think that makes opening day a little bit more interesting, huh? Yankee fans are not going to be too excited about that.
Oh man, well yeah, because the Giants, if they had gotten Judge, they would have been a villain to a level of like, you got our former player. They probably cheer from his first at bat and boo the shit out of him. This is his more at bats he gets with the Giants. Carlos Correa on opening day at Yankee Stadium on his new team it's a vibe.
It's going to be electric. It's going to be electric when he takes a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Garrett Cole straight into the seats to open up his Giants career.
I don't know.
And I'm here for it.
Is that better? Is my microphone now?
It is better. It does sound way better now.
No, I guess. Thank you, Derek, for saying something. My mic just it's right here. It exists. Same microphone that Jason has. My computer just.
I thought it was me. I thought it was just my headphones. I didn't even say anything.
Derek, thank you for saying that, because now here I'm not going to give you my address though. Like, that's not happening. But I appreciate you mentioning the microphone. I checked. For some reason, the microphone that's always plugged into my computer just didn't want to plug in today. So there we go. Hey. It's episode 2 on a Wednesday of the Sprint Right Option podcast. We're obviously in mid-season form here, opening up with Carlos Correa. I'm thrown off that now my microphone's not working, but now we're good.
You did mention mid-season, and we're getting closer to the end of the season.
Yes.
Can I start this podcast with something that I want to say that's on my heart?
Yes.
I'm having a glass of wine right now, and we are getting towards when it's December, January. The season is winding down.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what this glass of wine is for is how fun the season has been, how good this team is. When you think about teams and them being down to their third quarterback, what they should be going through, it's not talking about winning the Super Bowl. I will tell you that.
Or even, you're going far with saying Super Bowl, like division itself.
Yeah. I am proud of this team.
Yes.
I'm proud of what they've built. I am proud to cover this team. I am reflecting right now on this team, and I'm predicting a 49ers win. They're going to win the NFC West on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I think that's obvious.
But I'm proud of this team, man. I really am, man. Like, you know, when you think about every single piece of adversity that has been thrown in front of this team, from who should be starting, Jimmy Garoppolo's back. Well, now they're down to their third quarterback. You start the season 2-4, and look at us. Look at them. Look at us.
Yes.
I'm just proud of this team, man. And that's what this glass of wine is for. It's for understanding the season's not over. Ton of football left. But as we're winding down, I am reflecting on a season that I will, no doubt in my mind, ever forget.
I will never forget the one day we entertained Baker Mayfield on the Niners. That's really this is going to be the standout for the season for me. And yeah, even on the flip side, like, even the scary thing about it is after tomorrow, Jason, we're only going to have 3 more regular season games to talk about. Like, how fast it feels like 2 weeks ago, I was texting you about how excited I was for the start of a regular season because we'd finally get to talk about some real football. And here we are. Almost done with it. It's flown by. It's been a very fun season. It's been a season of growth for me, dare I say, with the opportunities I've been given, the opportunities Jason has been given. I didn't know we were starting sentimental here on the Sprint Right Option podcast, but hey, man, here we are. We're having a good time.
It's just on my heart.
Hey, man, I love it. But I think the important thing to take away, Jason, is the Niners are going to be NFC West champions within the next 48 hours. And that should be the takeaway. The Niners play the Seahawks. A win gives them a 3-game lead with 3 games to go, but the win also gives the Niners the tiebreaker in the NFC West, which is clinching the division. As Derek says, he is able to clinch the division in Seattle. I don't know where Jason went. My head's in the middle, but hey, all you need to do is hear my voice. And it would be – I was writing my articles last night, and I didn't really realize it, is that this is the second time – this is a chance for the Niners to clinch the NFC West in Seattle for the second time in 4 years. And just the idea of beating Seattle in Seattle within itself for so long felt like it was this impossible task. And now it feels like it feels like not only can they beat Seattle for the second time in 4 years in Seattle, but they can clinch a division in Seattle. And that's huge, because we went through the whole Harbaugh years of like, hey man, we are getting up for these Seahawks games. And then Seattle goes out and they did what they did to the Harbaugh Niners pretty frequently. We'll talk about that a little bit because there is history with it. But the Niners, all the conversation about Kyle Shanahan in 2020 and last year with the 3-5 start and this year with the 3-4 start. And here we are. I mean, God, it hasn't been since the Harbaugh years that we even talked about 2 division titles, let alone 2 division titles in 4 seasons. And here we are.
And look at us. Kyle Shanahan, back-to-back winning years, back-to-back playoff seasons, dispelling another narrative. But how sweet is it to just go 6-0 in the division?
Oh, that would be sick.
And oh my goodness, because Week 18 is going to be – it might not even be Colt McCoy, who's actually on the injury report right now. And what was it? They just brought up David Blau from the practice squad.
Oh, shout out David Blau. That's a Hard Knocks reference.
Deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Deep cut for Hard Knocks.
That might be a game where the 49ers have nothing to play for, so maybe that changes. But, man, how sweet it is. And 94 throwbacks against those highlighter Seattle uniforms. I can't think of a better matchup in terms of uniforms than this.
So actually Tarvarius asked this question as a perfect time. The uniforms are a concern for me. And we'll get into that later, though. Well, that's a later. That's a like we're done with the podcast conversation that has nothing to do with it. But I'm concerned, Jason. The first question I want to ask, and it's a really dumb football question. It really is, but I think it's one that kind of like within the context of the whole situation. What's okay? So this is such a dumb question. It might be the dumbest question I've ever asked on the Sprint Right Option podcast. But here we go. We're gonna have fun with it, Jason. With the question of Brock Purdy and his health, obviously, I think if this is a Sunday game, we're not really talking about it because the Niners get a whole week to. If the 49ers start Josh Johnson and just say, F it, we are running the ball 100% of the plays this game, how many points do the Niners beat the Seahawks by?
It's a good question. And I don't want to crap on this question. Because
like, yeah, it sounds like a joke question, but like Seattle stinks against the run. The Niners are very good at running the ball. They have a young quarterback who is their third quarterback who they maybe want to look into maybe protecting a little bit before the playoffs because he's the guy. It's half joking, but half like just put Josh Johnson out there, run the ball 80 times and beat Seattle.
Well, Kyle Shanahan actually said some things about Josh Johnson at the end of the game in terms of I didn't have to dial anything back. He picked everything up in terms of motion, timing, so they don't even have to do that. But to Andrew's point about how bad the Seattle Seahawks are against the run, 160.5 yards per game, 31st in the league. 4.92 yards per rush, 28th in the league. Now, if you think that's bad, their passing yards per game are 218.2, I apologize. 18th in the league, 6.74, 19th per play. They are 28th in total yards per game allowed. 22 first downs, basically, 21.8, 28th in the league. I don't know how many more stats you need for you to be confident that no matter who the quarterback is, the way Kyle Shanahan has been cooking, the way that there's many playmakers. I don't want to downplay the loss of Deebo Samuel in this game by any way.
No.
But Christian McCaffrey also helps. That helps a lot. George Kittle still exists.
Yep.
So yeah, you should be feeling confident going into this game. And then when you look at, let's throw out season stats, because season stats can be warped, right?
Yes.
One way or another, right? Like there could be a few bad games that'll tank your season. There could be a few good games that would up those numbers. Let's just look at their last few games. Los Angeles Rams almost lost. Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers going to Seattle and whip them. I think I have to apologize again. The Seattle Seahawks are down to earth, back to earth at this point. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they played above their heads for a little while. And when you get to this part in the season, this is where you find out who you are. Are you ascending or are you descending? And have you given yourself enough of a cushion early on in the year for you to descend and still make the playoffs? That remains to be seen for the Seattle Seahawks. Rams Nation, number one. Thank you, Marketing Pro. What's up, Batman and Sami Zayn?
There we go. Love that reference. Better than Robin. But okay, so yeah, here's the thing about Seattle. And you mentioned their hot start. And I feel like a lot of their hot start, because they did start 6-3, we'll give them credit. A lot of their hot start was around the opening week win against the Broncos, right? Because everybody liked the Seahawks after that game. Yeah. That win doesn't look impressive anymore, right?
It doesn't.
Their week 4 win, 48-45 over the Lions, looks a little more impressive now, but the Lions weren't great there. I think the Lions were 1-6 to start the season, and that was one of
Lions sneak into the last spot, by the way.
We love it. But then you look at their 5 next wins. It's the Cardinals stink. The Chargers are weird. Stink maybe, but maybe good. The Giants, they stink. The Buccaneers, they stink. The Cardinals, I already said it, they stink. The Rams 2 weeks ago, they stink. Those are the wins. They haven't really beaten anybody.
So let's look at their schedule going forward, Andrew. The 49ers, the Chiefs, the New York Jets,
and the Rams.
You could see them foreseeably losing the next 3 games easily.
Yeah.
So this is a critical time for the Seattle Seahawks at this point. This is what, while we've labeled all this and we're going to pick the 49ers to win this game.
Yeah, no, I think that's no secret. We've literally picked the Niners in every game this season, by the way. I don't think this is surprising.
And we're
picking the Niners.
Yeah, right. But this is the part that should have you at least a little leery. This is Seattle's last gasp.
Yeah.
Last stand. And that's something that division game, short week, Kenneth Walker's back, Seattle knowing what's in front of them can kind of, that's not quantifiable with a stat, not quantifiable with film. That's something that you should at least be somewhat concerned with. Because no matter what, even the most optimistic 49ers fan, in the pit of your stomach, in the back of your head, you still are feeling something.
Well, so I want to bring that point up because you remember our week 2 conversation? I was like, hey, man, like the Seahawks, like they kind of stink. They don't have Russell Wilson, but I'm still nervous. Jason, tell me I shouldn't be nervous. I'm not nervous at this point. I'm really not. The Niners should win this game by 150 points. If we're being
they should.
They should.
Oh, they should.
But Jason, it is a divisional game. You never know with divisional games.
That sounds like me. So what Andrew's doing right now is being me, being the pessimistic me, right? Because there's plenty of divisional games, right? Where let's just say, what's the worst team in the AFC West right now? The Patriots.
Yeah.
The Patriots beat the Bills, and somehow you're supposed to be worried about the Bills now because they lost to the Patriots. But divisional games are weird. They're just weird. So look, maybe my advice, maybe my pessimistic view of divisional games is more due to the fact that I've had predictions blow up in my face.
Yeah.
And I'd rather say the 49ers are going to win, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a win as people believe. Because as long as they win, then it takes care of itself. But if I predict a blowout and this game ends up being like a Seattle eke out victory, and I just basically chalk this up to Jason Aponte covering his ass and his bases.
That's what this podcast is all about. It's just Jason Aponte covering.
CYA.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
but so listen, really quick. I want to touch on this before we move too far forward because I mentioned the running game as well. Seattle stinks against the run game. We've established that. Week 2, the Niners play the Seahawks. The Niners get 189 rushing yards against the Seahawks. Can you name the Niners 2 running backs that day? Not counting Deebo Samuel, not counting Deebo.
Ty Davis-Price and Jordan Mason.
Jeff Wilson.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot he was on his team because
Jeff,
because you can't trade an undrafted free agent for a fifth-round pick. By the way, fun fact, real quick fun fact. The 49ers have not lost a game since they traded Jeff Wilson, since everybody was so worried about trading Jeff Wilson, by the way. I did not forget.
Anyways, the point I'm making, 18 carries for Jeff Wilson in week 2. Tyrion Davis-Price had 14 carries. Those aren't the Niners running backs on Sunday. Thursday. I'm so used to saying Sunday, but on Thursday. And I think it's safe to say that all respect to Jeff Wilson, all respect to Tyrion Davis-Price, the combination of Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason is probably better. Right, I think just with Christian McCaffrey alone makes it a better duo. I don't think I'm sticking my neck out there. How dare
you? The 49ers trading Jeff Wilson was literally the critical mistake for this team, and you are over here talking about Christian McCaffrey's an upgrade. How dare you? Unbelievable, man.
What's the Niners record? What's the Niners running back wins in the last 4 games? What's Christian McCaffrey's record?
They haven't lost a game since they traded an undrafted free agent for a draft pick, since everybody was so concerned.
Yeah, true. That's right. Double B Studio, thank you for the donation. Niners win by 13. Take my money. Yeah, I think that's a safe area to be. Maybe even a little more. I don't know, but I guess the point I'm making is, and even too with Christian McCaffrey, I know he's dealing with this bum knee thing. Like, even if they use McCaffrey more as a receiver tomorrow night, just to maybe protect him a little bit, but still utilize him
and to offset Deebo.
I think there's a bunch of reasons the Niners could use McCaffrey more as a receiver last night, but like, Jordan Mason is ripping like 60 yards a carry right now. Like, what's to say he can't just be the feature back tomorrow night and get it done himself? This just feels like the prototypical Kyle Shanahan is just gonna kick the living hell out of a team on the run, on the ground, especially considering too, like, I know I jokingly say like rest Purdy because of the oblique injury, but like playing Purdy a little bit to me on Thursday, like, again, this feels like an injury that if the Niners played on Sunday, Purdy would be playing. But this is kind of the issue with Thursday night football, in my opinion, is I'm not saying rest Purdy or anything like that. It's just, in my opinion, you're playing with a little bit of fire because you are on your third quarterback. He is a little banged up. And there's a lot of pressure on the kid, right? He's kind of expected to win a Super Bowl as Mr. Irrelevant here, right? Maybe running the ball a lot would be beneficial to protect Brock Purdy too. And obviously this is all adjustable. If the run game doesn't work in the scripted plays, then you're going to have to pass the ball. I have no reason not to think the run plays are going to work on the scripted plays. Like, I think they're going to shred it. And if the scripted plays work with run plays, just run the ball 80% of the time tomorrow. Plain and simple. You should win this game doing that alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very fair, especially when you look at the numbers, when you look at what's happened recently. The Panthers just gashed them, and I think we can all agree the San Francisco 49ers rushing attack is better than the Panthers. And, here's the thing, though, Andrew. We've seen a bit of a shift in Kyle Shanahan and his conservative ways at points with Brock Purdy. Meaning, damn, does he like the way that Brock Purdy is throwing that football, man? Because there's certain time, like at halftime last week, usually Kyle packs that thing in, takes the field goal or whatever, or takes the punt and just goes into the half.
Yes. He pushed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he pushed it into the end zone.
Yeah. So I think a little bit of it has to do with that. If we're talking strength on strength, then it's the 49ers running offense all day. But I do think Kyle's having fun right now.
Oh yeah,
with the way that Purdy's operating this offense.
I think especially like in the playoffs, especially against like a Minnesota or something like that. I think we're going to see some really weird plays from Kyle Shanahan. Like we're going to I think we're really going to see how much Kyle Shanahan's feeling himself with Brock Purdy with his playoff calls, because because in the playoffs you're going to have to do things you haven't really done before to kind of establish something a little different.
And they're magnified because it's win or go home.
Exactly. So I think you take a little more risks and see what Brock Purdy can be. As I said, if this is a Sunday game, like I'm full send on like let's see what Purdy can do. Absolutely. But it's a Thursday game. He's not 100% healthy. Like let him cook against the Commanders next week.
You should be able to run the ball 30 running the ball.
Yes.
And be able to put this game away handily. But Kyle's cooking right now, and he's having fun with his little quarterback, and I like that. I love that for him, matter of fact.
Yeah.
I love that for him. And for the people that are saying, like, look, all right. So in one breath, I just told you that Kyle is normally conservative going into the half. In another breath, I feel like the play calling necessarily hasn't changed because those throws were always in there for Jimmy. He just never took them. Purdy's taking them, and I think that's what has Kyle excited. So in one breath, I'll tell you that the foot on the gas pedal has to do with the fact that he's having fun with Purdy. But those throws that you're seeing were always in the offense. I mean, for God's sakes, everybody's always posting the all-22 of guys running wide open. Purdy's just hitting them.
I guess the simplest term I can put it in is, and tell me if I'm wrong, Jason, Garoppolo scans the field short to deep, where I feel like Purdy is more deep to short. And I think that's the difference between the two of them. Vishal, thank you for the donation. If Purdy is healthy for tomorrow with Debo out, it would be great for Danny Gray to get a few more reps since Purdy takes the deep shots. Yeah, I mean, that's out there. I think the more likely scenario is Danny Gray getting reps with Josh Johnson in the fourth quarter because the Niners are up 34-0 or whatever it is. Yeah, like I could see that happening. I don't know how much is going to change with Debo out. Like maybe we're going to see more Jawan Jennings than anything else. But I guess with Debo out, like just kind of like it's such a dumb sentence. Just put Christian McCaffrey in the Debo role. Like the fact you have two people that we can be like, yeah, man, just use him like an offensive weapon. It's unbelievable. And I have never related to a Twitter post more than Brad Graham the other day when he's like, I just watched this play by Christian McCaffrey and it's just like, how unbelievable is Christian McCaffrey on this team? And I still like when I went to the game, not to brag, I went to the Niner game last week when they did the player and the player introductions. It was such this like surreal moment of like, I'm seeing Christian McCaffrey come out of this tunnel right now, but I still like it's been a month and a half. I still don't believe he's on the Niners. I'm still waiting for like Roger Goodell, like kind of like John Heyman did, pulled the rug out from under me. I'm still waiting for Goodell to be like, oh no, we were JKing about that, pulling the rug. I'm mad at John Heyman. I will forever be mad at John Heyman, even with Carlos Correa. I'm angry. But anyways. One last stat really quick on the Seattle running game. They've had more games this season where they've allowed 200 or more rushing yards than games they've allowed less than 100 rushing yards. They've had 3 games where they've allowed 200 or more rushing yards, only 2 where they've allowed less than 100. So I'll let you talk about what you want to talk about on the Seahawks. I'm essentially just saying run the fucking ball tomorrow as many times as you want, and the Niners will win. I don't care either way.
I love turned up, angry.
Yeah, it's just what it's so like it's. I hate how simple I'm making it, and I feel like with how simple I'm making it means this game is going to be harder than it is. But there is no point in trying to push Purdy too hard tomorrow. Just run the ball, man. Just run the ball, Kyle. Run it 80% of the time, and you'll win easily.
So to Vishal's comment, Vishal, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, bro. Danny Gray's not seeing the field, man. I don't want to be a dick, man.
I tried to say it the nice way of like I think the only time you're seeing him is if the Niners are up 35-0.
And no, the only time you're seeing him is
and you're just like, nah, man, he's not even. No, man. In honor of Rich getting the Benjamin Solak tweet. No, man.
Shout out to my boy Rich. He's
shout
cooking.
Out Rich.
I'm so happy. But yeah, essentially right now, Danny Gray's relegated to the backflip Richie James role. Like that, I don't know what else. And again, I don't have any rhyme or reason. I don't think that that's the right way to do it.
JKBG just said that there. Danny Gray's backflips at the end of the game is the most action he gets on the field. Like Jason just said it. No offense to Danny Gray. It's just,
no offense to Danny Gray. Look,
he doesn't have a role in this offense right now, and even with like knock on wood, obviously, especially with the injuries, like the only way I see Danny Gray getting like it can't be Debo getting hurt to say Danny Gray.
Axel, Me not wanting to see somebody and me knowing somebody won't be on the field is two different things.
But
yes.
like Debo, like you got to look at the Niners depth chart a little differently because like it's easy to say Debo Samuel's a wide receiver, but like
Ray gets more burn than him.
Yeah, and like so that's the thing too. It's like if you break it down into three true positions, like Jordan Mason and Tyrion David Price are the two running backs on this team. The two offensive weapons are Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. So Samuel's out, McCaffrey's just offensive weapon one, and then you get to the receivers. It's Ayuk, Jennings, Ray, Gray. Debo's status has nothing to do with what's going on at the bottom of the receiver. So that's kind of the point where it's nothing against Danny Gray. It's just. It's more so the receiver specific players would have to start getting hurt. Yeah.
And again, I don't disagree with the sentiment. I think he should see the field more. I think that it would be cool. I think that it would be a nice little element to it, but it's just
and I wanted to touch on a comment really quick because David Sir said if Josh Johnson starts and wins, what does that say about Brock and Jimmy? It just says that the Seahawks stink against the run.
No.
It says nothing other than that.
Do you know what it says?
The Seahawks stink.
Is that your coach is cooking everyone when it doesn't matter who's the starter. And we have to get back and double back to a conversation about the quarterback is not the star of the offense. Your coach is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, injuries derail a back-to-back winning season. Now you're starting to see what happens when you have not as many significant injuries, but the fact that they're on their third quarterback. And this offense is scoring more points. And, Christian McCaffrey has something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Means your coach is really good.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kyle Shanahan haters, settle in, buckle up. This man is not going anywhere anytime soon. I love this for Kyle. I love this for him, man.
Honestly, if they I'm at a point where even if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, just give Kyle Shanahan a lifetime extension. I want to talk about this head coach for the rest of my life.
Flat brim hats for everyone. For everyone. Are you kidding me, man? No, yes, for everyone. Okay. For everyone. Okay. It's so crazy. 2-4. There's talks of bring in Ken Dorsey, bring in this guy, bring in that guy. It's almost like you guys forgot.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me, man. And shout out to Coach. Happy birthday, Coach. I know you're
watching. Oh, it is. It's Kyle's birthday. He's here.
Happy
birthday. Okay, you ready? Happy birthday. No, we're not. Okay, we're not saying okay. Kyle,
this isn't an Applebee's. No.
We'll get Lil Wayne to sing happy birthday for him because we know he loves him.
Packers. A Packer fan, Lil Wayne.
Unless the Saints are good, then he claims New Orleans.
Read it.
Oh, read it out loud. JKBG, Thank you for the comment. Kyle can sleep with my wife, and I'd be on the side eating popcorn saying, Coach is cooking. Man, I agree. Yeah,
I agree too.
I love
that
Kyle
beard,
Shanahan.
that salt and pepper beard. Coach is cooking right now.
There is only one man in the world I trust more with the Niners head coach job, and that man coaches in Michigan and is never coming back to this spot. So Kyle Shanahan's my guy.
No, but look, we joke and we're messing around. But again, this goes back to what I opened the show with. Third quarterback, what they've built on defense, what they've built with skill position players. Everyone was so worried about how much they gave up for Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's been here, and if we're doing running back wins, when he's been fully implemented into the offense, they haven't lost a game. So it's time. It's time, guys. Even the biggest Kyle hater. If now the only thing Kyle haters right now have, this is the only thing they have left, win the Super Bowl. Yeah. And you know what's funny about that? There's an article that I am writing for Niners Nation that's coming out. If you look at where Kyle is in his coaching career, how many running backs, quarterbacks, whatever, both of those are wrong. How many coaches have won a Super Bowl in the time that he's been a coach? Not many. And I'll point all that out. But it's time to understand that whether you like it or not, and I love it, Kyle's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Do you want to know like the sneaky best thing Kyle should like nobody really talks about is like his ability to make us believe that whatever quarterback he puts out there is that dude, because like I know we joke about it, how this podcast, like it started on the Nick Mullins or Jimmy Garoppolo conversation. But the fact that like Kyle Shanahan Jedi mind tricked us into like, oh, maybe CJ Beathard is that guy. And then you Jedi mind tricked us into, oh, maybe Nick Mullins is that guy. And then like Jimmy Garoppolo is that guy. And Trey Lance is that guy. And now we're Jedi mind tricked into like, is Brock Purdy that? Like the fact that Kyle Shanahan gets all these guys, what is going on here? What?
So you said you were at the game last week and you meant the Miami game. I just got an Instagram DM from JJ9MM. He was at the game last week, and he was like, not the flex Pasquini, but like, is that him with Tom Brady? Tom Brady was there in the stands. No wonder this team couldn't score any points.
Tom Brady really let himself go since the divorce.
Tom Brady's really let himself go, and also, man, he really is the GOAT, and he was in the stands. Can't believe it, man.
Hey, Axel, I intentionally didn't say Brian Hoyer. Thank you very much. I left that name off on purpose. Please, this is my podcast. Please let me have my narratives and let me be right. I need to remind people when I'm right in the future, guys. But here, okay. So here's a couple stats I wanted to throw at you, and then we'll go with my really dumb uniform stat that I have to kind of put into context what this game means for the 49ers as a franchise against Seattle. The Niners haven't won back-to-back games against Seattle since 2012.
Wow.
They in that span, so since they won their game against Miami in 2012 to get consecutive wins, they're 4-18 against Seattle. Like obviously these are no secrets that like the Niners are bad against Seattle. This is something we've covered plenty of times. But like it's been a decade since this team has beaten the Seattle Seahawks twice in a row. And they play them twice a year.
Yeah.
The last time they had a chance to sweep a season series against Seattle was 2012. That is the last time they won the first game against the Seahawks in a season. 2022 was legit the first time since 2021 or since 2012 that the Niners won the first game of the series in the season.
Wow. That is an insane stat.
Thank you.
And you know what? I think that's what has me. I'm excited for tomorrow, man. I really am. Not only am I excited,
very excited.
I get to fire up my Prime Video app. I get to watch Richard Sherman talk about the game, Andrew Whitworth. I get to watch Tony Gonzalez, Taylor Rooks, talk about this game. All of those things are great. Shut up, Andrew.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
You said it all with your face. You said
it
all
with
your
your
face.
face.
Taylor Rooks is a phenomenal journalist.
Don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
But
it's just like Gunna.
Yeah. Oh wow. No, I don't know.
You didn't expect that reference today, did you?
No, I didn't. No, he definitely snitched. By the way. Anyway.
That's how you get out of prison. It's easy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to watch. Yo, unbelievable! I can't believe we just got a Gunna reference from Andrew.
Who's Metro Boomin?
Look, God, you got to get me back on track. I am excited to watch this game tomorrow for all of these reasons. Yes. No matter what anybody wants to say about, where Seattle is, where the 49ers are. Yes, the 49ers should handle business, and I think that they will. But it's still Seattle, and there's still that thing in the back of your mind. There's still all those haunting memories of losses and heartbreaking losses, and not just like, oh, you lost to a better team, like winning a game and losing a game. Like, I don't want to go through all of that. But there is something to the idea that we can, and this is, remember last year when the 49ers lost to Seattle and Levi's, and then we started lapping up before that Seattle game. We are about to watch the end of the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll. Well, we did, but it wasn't with a victory.
No.
I think now is we should be looking at maybe pushing away the Seattle Seahawks as the boogeyman for sure, for forever now. Like at this point, this is what this game represents for me.
Honestly, thinking about
it, and Free Thug, you should have been Free Thug first. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's too deep of a reference for me. I just saw a tweet.
It should have been Young Thug. It should have been Young Thug first. If I hope both of them get out, but Young Thug should have got out first.
So
he makes better music.
So kind of feeding off on like this is the end of the Seahawks if the Niners win this game. No matter which path, like just kind of thinking about this, and I haven't. This is me brainstorming. Like you're watching me think about this for the first time, and I'm literally saying this sentence for the first time in a long time, or first time in my life. Whether you want to take the Brock Purdy or the Trey Lance path on this, Is this the Niners division to lose for the next 5 years? Where's Seattle going? Where's the Rams going? Where's the Cardinals going right now? It feels like there is, and not thinking and somebody's gonna. I referenced earlier that like Brock Purdy has Super Bowl expectations, and somebody said, "I just want to win a game. Let's not talk Super Bowl." And yes, I know I'm talking division titles in 5 years, but like Jason, you saying like this could be the end of Seattle, like.
Well, no.
This is a thought that's just fresh on my mind. I didn't plan on bringing this up.
It could be what. Let me rephrase that. It could be the end of Seattle being the boogeyman to the San Francisco.
Yeah,
49ers.
The end of the boogeyman. But I guess my next question is who replaced?
They got to trade up though.
No, they have Denver's pick. They'd have to get the. They have to get.
It's a lot of Broncos.
They'd have, but like, but counterpoint, even to like, as fun as it is to say that Caleb Williams is going to be the next big thing. He's not even in the draft, so they can't draft him this year. So maybe Denver figures it out. But my point is like, who's the boogeyman in this division in the next 5 years for the Niners specifically?
Well, shout out to Marketing Pro and Jim Everett. I know they'll have something to say.
Yeah, they'll say the Rams, and that's okay.
No, but you know what?
Fans. Yeah,
good on them, man. I really enjoy them being here, man. They are.
We love them.
They're family now.
They're family now. We love them.
Like,
dare I say they're Ramley?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You dare. All right, that's it. Andrew Pasquini, as always, though.
This is the last episode of the Spirit Right Option podcast. Andrew just said Ramley, so we got this.
But here's a good way to look at it. Arizona's in trouble. And they're probably going to replace their general manager and coach. Kyler Murray will be back late in the year next year due to his injury. Prayers up to him. Positive energy to him because I don't want to see that. I never want to see that. We make a lot of fun of the Arizona Cardinals, but I never want to see anybody get injured.
There it is. Marketing Pro. Rams are stacked next to her. Atwell, Skronik, Jefferson, Robinson, healthy O-line, new running back, second round pick, and 2 6th-round pick. I feel like that's the most negative thing we've ever gotten Marketing Pro to say about the Rams because there was some sense of sarcasm on that.
No. All right. So it's true though. But and then like what I wanted to say about Seattle.
JKBG's comment. Just don't even put it on the screen.
No, I can't put that on the screen.
You can't put that on the screen.
Like you're cooking right now, but I can't put that on the screen. We're still a family show. There are people that listen to the show in their car with their family also, so we can't really put that up there. But
now a good time to mention BCB?
No.
Okay.
Never. Well, why can't we just call it Glock Purdy? Why does everybody have to go there with that? Anyway, when we're talking about NFC West people, NFC West teams, right now it doesn't look good. But it's December 14th.
Yes.
Right? Like it's still fresh, right? And we're all like looking at the Rams and saying, man, the Rams are this, they're that. The Cardinals are in flux, right now. And then Seattle, right? And then you look at the way Seattle built in the draft this past year. Yeah. 2 starting tackles, Tariq Woolen-Zaballer, Kobe Bryant. Like they were able to do all this. And Jamal Adams was injured.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jamal Adams has him. And no matter, look, we make jokes about Jamal Adams. That's fine. Don't tell me that doesn't have an impact on the defense in some way. Don't tell me that he wouldn't help Seattle. Like, I get we make jokes, but come on. Like, it would be nice if he was there.
He's the Talanoa Hufanga of their defense.
Christ, man.
No, because
that's not going to go over well.
No. I need to explain it because last year when we talked about Talanoa Hufanga, I made some jokes of referencing that he is like Jamal Adams because he's so good close to the line. It's a joke. The Sin would get the joke. It's a continuity.
Explain thing. It. You got to explain it because people don't get jokes. They're just going to clip it.
Guys,
it was a joke. It
was a joke, please.
So
it was a joke.
What I mean is the 49ers have a chance to close the book on Seattle being a house of horrors, a team that you don't want to play, right? And that book won't open up until it's time to open the book up, if that makes any sense. Like until they get like a guy that's a quarterback that can mask some other things. But they're building in the right direction. And that's the part that makes it a little bit more nervous when you said it about Seattle. And they're going to get the high pick because Denver stinks.
Denver stinks. Actually,
Russell Wilson continues to help Seattle somehow. I can't understand how he's on another team and he's helping them now.
Conspiracy. It's the theory. And I know, actually, I'm kind of curious because I know we got Paul in here. Paul's from Seattle, one of our viewers. What's the vibe in Seattle with the Seahawks right now? I'm just curious. I'm curious what the vibe is and the feel with the team. So if you're here, Give us a comment. Appreciate it. I like JKBG. Wednesday Adams is more popular than Jamal Adams at this point. I think that's a very good point. Jason, can I give you some stats that concern me?
Go for it.
And these aren't real. I mean, these are real stats. Thank you very much, Luis, for the donation. Is Greenlaw having a Pro Bowl season or what? Another game like the one 2 years ago, please. My fave duo is also cooking here. Yeah, man. Like we've apologized to Dre Greenlaw a million times this year. Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler. Unfortunately, he's not going to get to play in the Pro Bowl because the Niners will be playing in the Super Bowl.
We're not going to have any Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, no Pro Bowlers this year. So they're all Super Bowlers. Jason, so I forgot that the Niners introduced their all-white uniforms in 2018. I don't know why. 2018 was a year to forget. So the Niners' record since 2019 is 3-3 in the all-white uniforms. They started out 3-0. They've lost 3 games since. 2 of the 3 have been to the Seahawks in the all-whites. Now,
go ahead.
Want
to remember do you remember that fateful day that they wore it for the greatest play call in college?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I do. It was McKinnon out of Wildcat, the greatest single play call. Honestly, like at some point we do need to have the discussion about changing the podcast name from the Sprint Right Option podcast to the true iconic play in Niners history, McKinnon out of the Wildcat podcast.
For Wildcat, right? On 3rd and 5, yeah.
But on the flip side, now let me give you the concerning part of this stat. In the ugly ass, what they call action green uniforms, the Seahawks are 9-1. When they specifically wear the ugly ass action green with the blue pants like they are tomorrow, they are 3-0. Listen, I know the Niners visually have an advantage in terms of uniforms. The Niners will be looking way, 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 way better than the Seahawks are tomorrow night. But are we concerned about the uniform statistics?
Well, it wasn't until you brought it up.
I know. Like it was scary. I know. I wrote about it on Niners Nation, Jason. I don't know if you've heard this. We write for NinersNation.com. And by the way, real quick, before we dive into this conversation, we have 226 people here watching us right now. That's a lot of people. So if you're new here, subscribe. Jason Aponte's YouTube channel. It's fantastic. Mark Pfeiffer, no statistical correlation. Yes, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. There is no statistical correlation. However, it's a stat that exists, and that's my brand. There's no correlation to anything, but it exists. It's out there. Seahawks are 9-1 in the greens. The Niners are 3-4 technically in the all whites. There you go.
Well, I think this is a masterclass in there is any statistic out there for you to push whatever narrative it is.
And for the point Jason's making, this is legitimately the only positive statistic that would tell me the Seahawks can beat the Niners tomorrow. And it's not a real uniform, or it's not a real stat. It's not a real stat. For anybody in here that's taking this discussion serious, then you haven't been here long. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel. This is literally
then you should realize that Andrew Pasquini and I like to have fun talking football because if we're not having fun, then why would we do it? And this is fun. This is just joking around. It's funny. No one's taking this one serious, right? Guys? Like, come on. We've listed all the statistical reasons that the 49ers we should talk about what's happened trending with the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they just lost to Sam fucking Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. Yes, the San Francisco 49ers should dog walk this bum-ass team.
Yes.
But football is weird. Things happen.
Yes.
Things are there that you can't quantify with stats, film, anything like that. This is what I'm talking about. And maybe it's me being scarred as a 49ers fan, watching the Seattle Seahawks, even at times where Andrew and I have gotten on here and said, there's no way Seattle could beat this team. They're cooked. Mm-hmm. We're about to find out. Thursday would go a long way in knocking that away from 49ers fans. You don't get back all of the misery that the Seattle Seahawks have caused the 49ers. You don't get that back. No regular season win will get you back the NFC Championship. No regular season win will get you back Vernon Davis. But yes, because Cam Chancellor knocked the life out of him.
I have a take on that.
No, just keep it to yourself. But yeah, it's again, any stat that you want, you can push in any way. And that's what's funny about what Andrew brought up. And again, I do think that there are a lot of 49er fans that feel confident, But in the back of their mind, they're still like, shit. It's Pete Carroll. Shit. Thursday Night Football. That's the thing. It's everything that is logical is pointing in the 49ers direction. Everything. Every single thing. Trending, statistical, roster, coaching this year for sure. Well, I don't know. Pete Carroll's done a really good job.
Yeah.
But damn, you could still feel a little bit in the back of your mind like, you know what? Maybe I should chill out just because of the team that's on the other side. That's it.
So we got a few things from Paul on my question with the Seahawks. He says Seattle's going to draft a straight DL in the first round this year and draft a quarterback to develop. They're going to build the defense back up with the high picks this year to emulate FS front, possibly targeting Caleb Williams in 2024. But then he also dropped this quote, which I think is the most accurate one. Seattle fans, Pete owns Kyle like Kyle owns McVay. And it's not wrong. That's not wrong. So yeah, I know I'm joking about the uniforms a little bit. As I said, it's a stat that exists, and if stats exist, I'm going to talk about it. But it is still Seattle. It's concerning. It's a short week. There's a lot of little things that can change this game. Do I think the game will change and the Niners are going to lose this game? No, I don't think the Niners are going to lose this game. But history gives a little bit more of a concern.
Yeah.
And that's really the point we're trying to make.
That's it. And that's all, right? There's a lot of things that are weird. Divisional game, Thursday Night Football, Pete Carroll in Seattle. Brock Purdy's still – he's going to start his second game. Mm-hmm. We're still confident. I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to win this game.
Yeah.
But I understand people that have a bit of hesitance that are like, I don't know, and you know what? Again, maybe this is me covering my ass right now at this point. Maybe this is me, instead of coming on here and saying, well, the 49ers are going to dog walk Seattle, this is it by this score, and then something bad happens. Sure, I can definitely agree with that. But divisional games make me nervous, and that's what Andrew was joking about earlier on, because anytime that he brings up a game, and I'm like, well, it's a divisional game, you need to chill. Miami beat Buffalo. I don't think anybody believes that the Miami Dolphins are better than the Buffalo Bills.
No.
But that was a divisional game. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills. Does anybody believe that the New York Jets are better than the Buffalo Bills? No. It's those are weird games. Those are weird games.
82. I'm doing math really fast. 82. What's 82 plus 38? Chat, you got me. 82 plus 38 is 110. 120. The Niners have scored 120 points against divisional opponents this year while allowing 16 math. This is great podcasting.
23.
30. I hate that you just said that because you just threw my brain.
30.
I think 30 points. I think it's 120 to 30. That could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not good. 110 to 40, maybe something like that. Anyways, they're blowing out divisional opponents. I'm not good at math really fast, guys. You watched me think really hard there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is time for me to get Jason Aponte's voice out of my head about.
Here's the one thing. This is how good the San Francisco 49ers have been.
Yes.
Your NFC West point differential. The 49ers are plus 120. The Seattle Seahawks are plus 8. The Arizona Cardinals are minus 57. The Los Angeles Rams are minus 78. Now, Andrew, I'm not the smartest man in the world. That seems pretty good.
It's average if you want to win a division. Yeah, I think that's something that's a good stat your way. Yes, being the division leader, because there are division leaders that aren't leading the division in point differential. Hi, Minnesota Vikings. Can't wait to beat them in the playoffs, by the way.
And you are reading too far into what Andrew is saying. If you don't get the bit, just say that.
I literally said it's a stat that doesn't matter, but it exists. But thank you.
Please,
if
you don't get that, if you don't get the McKinnon out of Wildcat thing, if you don't get whom's revenge game is it, you might not be here long enough to understand those things. There's no reason to get overly upset about Andrew bringing up the uniform thing, because if you know us, it's part of the shtick.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Guys.
If the Niners do lose tomorrow, I'm 100% blaming the uniforms.
We can have fun talking football, and we will continue to do that.
DK Metcalf Goat, see you in the chat. Seahawk fan here. Hello.
You better worry about playing in the game, DK, and get out of this YouTube chat and get on the field and start catching some passes. This is how you know Seattle's not ready for this game. It's Wednesday, 6:00 Pacific time, and DK Metcalf is in the chat talking crazy about the 49ers.
But when Kyle Shanahan is in the chat, obviously watching us, that's okay. Greatness54, thank you for the donation. The only thing that's got me nervous kind of is thinking is we literally have to go on a 14-game winning streak.
Not really.
I mean, really. But yes, really, because they're on a 6-game. Really. But yes.
Not really. Look. Yeah. Wrap this one up. You lose to the commies, and get your loss out of the way.
Yeah,
get the loss out of the way. Yes. You go on. Then you got to go on like a 5-game streak. So thanks, Greatness 54.
I love that. I love that thought though. Like, are the Niners winning too many games? Like, I love that. Yeah. Thought. That 100% is the thought that this podcast.
What goes up must come down. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
That's not pessimistic. That's just law of averages. That's just math.
It's the same thing of when, like, in a baseball game, a team scores like 14 runs in a game, and then the next game they score like 2. Is like, well, they used up all the runs last night. Like they should have saved some for today. Like it's that same thing. So, all right, I think we're at that point, Jason. We're almost at an hour. DK Metcalf Go, thank you for the comment. We appreciate you. Hey, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I haven't said it yet. I know we have 230 people in here. We also have the audio recordings anywhere you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Amazon Music. That's where you can find us.
Good point. This is a good point.
Brock gets his so it's its own streak. The Niners are on a 1-game
streak. So it's a 1-game streak with Brock.
Yes.
One. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that, Jedi. I love that.
I love these
thoughts. I love your profile.
I love our comment section so much.
Our comment section is always lit.
I love our comment section, and I'm hoping. I think it was Tanya. I think that was the name. The person who didn't understand the sarcasm. I hope you come back and watch us and enjoy.
But my thing is I feel like I've seen her name in here, so that's what kind of not bothers me. But it's like I thought you knew us. I thought that we built rapport. I thought that you understood us. I thought that we built a family.
I love all of our listeners equally. I love them all. I'm happy they're here. Jim Everett, we love you. Tony Montana, I love it. Great show. Smash the like button. We haven't even made our predictions, Jason. Boy, it'd be a hell of a swerve if we both picked the Seahawks here. It'd be so funny.
Absolutely not.
I 147-3. I'm joking. See, like the thing is I joking. Like I said, I think the Niners are going to blow out the Buccaneers, and I think I said a final score of like 31-10. And I'm like, I probably should be more realistic.
I want to keep this one up, and we'll talk about this after the prediction.
Ooh, yeah, we'll get this one really quick. I'm going to go Niners 28, Seahawks 13.
Okay. I've got the 49ers winning this one 27-17. I have a hard time figuring out how Seattle's going to score these points in this game, especially with the way that their offense has been rolling, the way that the defense is playing. Eric Armstead's going to be into the fold a little bit more. I do believe that no matter what, it is always going to boil down to the 49ers offense, how many points they can score. And if history these last few weeks has taught us anything with the Seattle Seahawks, forget the history that I'm telling you to keep in the back of your mind, the part that's got me a little bit shook. All the styles make fights. Everything in here, the San Francisco 49ers should take care of business 27-17. And I do believe that they hat and t-shirt game. Everybody pull up to the post game after that with a drink. NFC West champions. I think that's what's next for us.
Vince, guys, do you push hard for the 2 seed or rather rest players down the stretch?
This is such a good discussion.
I'm gonna. No, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Rest them. You know why? Here's my opinion. The 2 seed is either going to be the Niners or the Vikings at this point. You're going to have to go to Philadelphia either way. So if it's down to the Vikings and the Niners, I don't care if it's in Santa Clara. I don't care if it's in Minnesota. I don't care if it's on Mars. I don't care. I don't care if it's in fucking Westeros, Jason Aponte. The Niners beat the Minnesota Vikings by 4 scores, no matter where. Now, if it was like a chance to either go to Philadelphia or stay in Santa Clara, push for that 2 seed, because I don't want to play in Philadelphia in the snow in January. It's going to be a domed atmosphere. It's either going to be sunny and chilly in Santa Clara, or it's going to be domed against a crappy Minnesota team. Either way. So for me, like context, like I love the idea of going for the 2 seed, but it's against the Vikings. The Vikings stink.
Okay. I'm going to respectfully disagree, Andrew Pasquini.
Okay.
Here's the thing. You cannot rest guys for 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's true. Yes. When I say rest, maybe like limit the usage a little bit.
Okay.
Not like
all right,
sit
so,
them completely.
Okay.
Like
but you have to know that you locked up a home playoff game.
Yeah. I mean, they do. Not
if you rest everybody and you lose to the Commanders, the Cardinals.
Yeah, but
when
they win tomorrow, they clinch the division. They're guaranteed at least one home game.
They can fall to 4 because of their record.
I don't think because the 4.
Oh no, because
the
of
4
Tampa?
would be the South. Yeah,
Tampa,
and the South stinks.
All right,
replace the South winner with the Lions. To be honest,
here's why I would say you go for the 2. Anything can happen in the playoffs. Anything. The Philadelphia Eagles could have their week off and they could pull up and they'll get flat and they lose to somebody. And we've seen it happen before. Many teams, right? The Saints lose to the Vikings. Who was it? When in 2019 when the 49ers played the Vikings beat the Saints
because
in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
And you didn't see that coming. We were all kind of preparing for the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. But guess what? Thank God the New Orleans Saints didn't win because now you had the Vikings come into your house. You always want to have the home game. Always.
Fair.
And you always want to stay sharp. In my opinion, it's about staying sharp. And there's guys that are getting acclimated in. One more thing, Andrew. Brock Purdy is getting reps himself.
Yeah, that's
true. Getting reps himself. Like at this point, you can't even if this was Jimmy Garoppolo. You want to take you want to take a second quarter off. You want to take the rest of the game off. Cool, Jimmy's been here.
Yeah,
but Brock Purdy needs all of that,
fair.
And this team needs all this. So
I guess I'm taking this question as in if let's say hypothetically it's week 18 against Arizona, and the Niners need a win.
Week 18 is different.
That's what. But I'm saying like if it's week 18 and like you need to win to get the 2 seed. I would still err on the maybe just rest because I don't care about Minnesota. But then again, also I'm a fan. I'm a podcaster. I can have these opinions. I'm sure the Niners want home.
That's fair. That's fair. There is something to being sharp. There is something to continuing to stay on the ball, right? Like that, the bye week is great and crucial for health. Yeah. I don't think that the Eagles are in any sort of health crisis, anything right now. They pretty much found a way to avoid injuries this entire year. Yeah. Whether depending on who you ask, it's for whatever reason. But I think you kind of toy with rhythm. You kind of toy with the football. You kind of toy with the football gods a little bit too.
That's fair.
Throwing games, things like that. So but Keith Murphy says you give them too much credit. 17, no way. Hey, I'm just trying to be nice, man. If Jason off the Henny was on here, he would tell you Niners 374, Seahawks 0. I
don't even have to be off the Henny to say 147 to 3.
You don't.
Paul Third, thank you for the donation. I bet on Purdy for O'Roy before Bucks at 41-1. It's dropped to 20-1. I think if the streak continues and he wins a playoff game, he's got it. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Playoff games don't account in that. So it would have to be a regular season thing. And second, I don't know. I like the thought. I don't know if there's enough time for that. That's all I'll say. I love the thought. The thought's there.
We beat Green Bay last year coming off the bye. Because we're better than them. We're better.
Oh, wait. Did Green Bay have the bye? No, Green Bay didn't have the bye. Did they?
No, they did.
Yeah, the Rams
did. They did. No, they did.
Did the Packers have the 1 seed?
They had the 1 seed. Yeah.
Shit, man. I don't remember anything.
But also, Keith, Green Bay's frauds. They're frauds. That's different. That don't count.
Just like the Vikings.
They're frauds.
Just like the Vikings.
Fraudulent.
I don't
know if Philly's fraudulent, but see, you know what?
Right.
As a matter of fact,
this
kind of reinforces why it would behoove the 49ers to have the 2nd seed. Yeah. Because if Philly comes out of the bye flat and they lose, and you've got the 2 seed, guess what? You don't got to leave Levi's. You don't have to leave the West Coast again.
That is also fair too, Jason. I just really wanted to get my point off that the Vikings stink.
The Vikings do stink. The Vikings do stink. I think we are lockstep. I don't think anybody is nervous of religious Jimmy G. I don't think anybody's nervous of Kirk Cousins, right? Like I don't think anybody is.
I've never heard him.
Religious Jimmy G.
I've never heard that.
So Keith, this is my point, right? Like look, get to that second seed, and then if Philly comes out rusty, just like the Packers do, because they've been inexperienced,
that's
now
fair.
You have a free path all the way to Glendale, and I think that you shouldn't tempt the football gods in that way. And also, let's kick a team while they're down. The Green Bay Packers are frauds, and Aaron Rodgers came back for what? Like I don't get that. So.
Not enough talk about Aaron. Don Burr, we are coming, baby. Look at our guy. We are amped. Dude, I was so excited when they beat the five. Panay Sewell
out catching passes.
Oh.
Don Burr,
we love you.
We went through the schedule. We did it. The last podcast. The Giants are cooked. The Commanders are in trouble.
Cooked.
The Detroit Lions are going to sneak into the playoffs.
And listen, Don, if they do not make the playoffs, I am using this podcast and my platform on the internet to boycott the NFL until they replace the NFC South winner with the Detroit Lions. Okay? You understand that, Don Burr? We are with you. What's the Lions hashtag? Hashtag roar? I don't know what their hashtag is. We are big Lions guys here.
Don Burr, we believe. We're feeling it. It's happening. It is happening right now. It's happening. There's things that you can see coming, and it feels like the Detroit Lions are about to sneak in because the New York Giants are fraudulenting themselves out of this one.
And Don Burr, I just want you to know, because I've seen the reason I have not mentioned the Kyle Shanahan Coach of the Year conversation people want to have.
Because when Dan Campbell gets in,
Dan Campbell doesn't even have to get in. Dan Campbell is the Coach of the Year this year. No matter what at this point. Yeah, because like here's the thing. Which one is harder? And we're gonna go after this because I got to get going, Jason. I love you. Which one is harder? Which one is harder? Making the playoffs with a third string quarterback, or making people believe in the Detroit Lions? Just period, full stop, dot. Exactly, Paul. Thank you for the donation.
Don Burr never stopped believing. So that's
Don Burr never stopped. Well, because he's a Lions fan, but like.
No, but there's Lions fans that gave up.
But the whole story of Hard Knocks was like, hey, man, this team kind of stinks, but maybe they'll be less stinky this year. And that's kind of what it was. I love you. No, it's not the Eagles. It's not Sirianni. Nobody cares. He has.
Might be Dabble.
It could
be. Dabble deserves a ton of credit.
Oh, Dable. I thought you were saying Dabo Swinney, and I'm like, Dabo.
Dable, whatever.
Brian Dable. Dable. Paul, thank you for the donation. There aren't really any rookies standing. No rookie running backs like Saquon or Zeke. No rookie quarterbacks playing. I think he has a chance. Fair. Don Burr, believe in Dan Campbell. As he said at the very end of Hard Knocks, it's the team that could. Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Lions. Let's go
Lions. I was literally going to say, I love it when we end our Niners podcast with Lions talk. I am about to run through a wall for our guy, Don Burr. Oh, my God. Let's go Lions. Let's go Niners. This is a joint Lions-Niners podcast now. Sprint Right Option podcast. We love you.
See you Friday with the NFC West title. See you
NFC
Friday.
West in the bag.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners.